Good afternoon. Here Sonoo Sir with a new video of class 7th SST, and in that we are taking geography, and in geography there is chapter 4, air and atmosphere. Class 7 SST geography. Chapter 4, air and atmosphere. Air and atmosphere. So students, we have started this chapter and we have been finished up to the all layers. There are 5 layers, that is structure of atmosphere, and we have been read troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere, the 5 layers of the Earth's atmosphere. Now students, we are on page number 38 and there is our topic significance of the atmosphere. Significance of the atmosphere. So students, if you see the Hindi meaning of that, what is significant, that is importance. What is importance? Significance of the atmosphere. So students, we see that the atmosphere is significant for the survival of all life forms on the earth. What the life forms on the earth is available or are available is only because of atmosphere. There are many gases present in the atmosphere which are used for various natural processes such as photosynthesis and respiration. As we know, the gases which are present in atmosphere is responsible for photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? As we know, that our plants and trees make their food by photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Sunlight, that is sun energy, and minerals from the earth root and soil, water from the root, and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. This all gathered and the food of plants and trees prepared. So this is photosynthesis, and this photosynthesis is only because of carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide also is in atmosphere, and as we know, there are many gases present in the atmosphere which are used for various natural processes such as photosynthesis and respiration. So in photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is used to make glucose of food for plants and trees. At the same time, we see in respiration. In respiration, we use oxygen, and plants and trees also use oxygen, but they use oxygen in night. They use oxygen in night, but in the daytime, they use plants and trees use carbon dioxide. Plants and trees use carbon dioxide, that is CO2. So this CO2 is present in atmosphere, and plant inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. Plants and trees exhale oxygen, and that is why this oxygen is taken by human beings. That we are taking oxygen from plants and animals. Sorry, plants and trees, which is so this is clear, student, that plants and trees inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen and release oxygen, and those released oxygen has been taken by human beings. That men and women are taking this. Human beings and human survival. All animals are also taking oxygen. So the main source of oxygen is, if we see that the photosynthesis in plants and trees release oxygen. So we can say that photosynthesis is the main cause of release of oxygen, and the respiration which we take is also only about because of photosynthesis. So that is release of oxygen by plants and trees is there. That is why we can take oxygen, we can inhale oxygen, and oxygen is very important to survive our life, as we know this. So students, nitrogen is used indirectly by plants for their growth. It is also used to make chemical fertilizers. In previous classes, students, we have seen the nitrogen circle, how the nitrogen is indirectly used in growth of plants and trees. In crops also nitrogen is so used. Sometimes nitrogen is used for making fertilizer, that chemical fertilizer, that is using the engineering of chemical fertilizer, that is chemical fertilizers, that is रासायनिक खाद. So to make our soil fertile, these chemical fertilizers have been used, and nitrogen is used indirectly by plants for their growth. It is also used to make chemical fertilizers. Then students, we see oxygen is an important gas present in the atmosphere. Human beings need oxygen to live. So the oxygen which is present in atmosphere is prominent, is important gas which human beings always being taken for their survival, and if there is no oxygen, life would not be easy or not would be exist. So students, and this oxygen is in atmosphere, so that is why this is also significant that oxygen is for survival of life, to live, oxygen is needed. That is why oxygen is an important gas present in the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is used by plants for photosynthesis, also trap the sun's heat. So oxygen is also important to take human beings' survival, and at the same time of carbon dioxide, although carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, that means the radiation of sun's wave trapped by carbon dioxide or absorbed by carbon dioxide, and in later time when the effects of sun's light decreases there, that radio waves and the radioactive and the radioactivity and the we can say the radioactivity of that gas, the heat of the sun's light which is absorbed by carbon dioxide radiate in atmosphere. So carbon dioxide also helps in keeping the earth's surface warm. So because carbon dioxide traps the warmth and the heat of the sun, and that is why carbon dioxide helps this earth and this globe to make warm and to keep warm. So if the earth's surface is warm, some benefits are also there, but some losses are also there. We will read further. So this is significance of the atmosphere. In that we have seen that nitrogen is very important to make growth of plants, to grow plants, and use chemical fertilizers also being by nitrogen, and oxygen is an important gas. As we know, human beings need oxygen to live, and now carbon dioxide is also important for plants for photosynthesis, and the sun's heat is trapped in carbon dioxide, and the earth keeps carbon dioxide keeps earth warm. So that is why students, the surface of earth remain warm, that is because of carbon dioxide. So water vapor in form of clouds, now we see the significance of atmosphere. Water vapors are also present in this atmosphere. So this water vapor forms clouds and condenses, then gathered somewhere and leads to precipitation, that is rain, hail and snow. So while the water particles, water vapor form clouds and condenses, and then precipitation occurs, and rainfall, snowfall and hailfall there. So this is also because of atmosphere. Ozone present in the upper part of the atmosphere, as we know this ozone layer which is in mesosphere's lower part. So this ozone layer, that is ozone gas which is present in upper part of atmosphere is responsible for absorbing high energy ultraviolet radiation of the sun. What is UV radiation? the Hindi meaning of that, that is parabagni kirane. Parabagni kirane. So the radiation of this ultraviolet rays is so harmful for us. It can make some kind of bone disease, skin disease, cancer, many kind of diseases, and sickness can be occurred by this ultraviolet rays. Very toxic rays, very harmful rays are there. So students, this ozone layer protects these ultraviolet rays to come on the earth, and these harmful rays always prohibited and rejected by this ozone layer, and reflects back. That is why these harmful rays do not harm us. So that is why this ozone present in the upper part of the atmosphere is responsible for absorbing high energy ultraviolet radiation of the earth. Thus it protects both the living organisms on the earth's surface from the harmful effects of the UV rays. So this harmful effect of UV rays is determined and has been prohibited by ozone layer. This is also part of our atmosphere. And students, we are talking about the significance of our atmosphere. Air acts like a thermal insulator. What is thermal insulator, students? If you see the Hindi meaning of thermal insulator, so you have to know that this is usmi uchalakta. Usmi uchalakta. As we have discussed about conductor and insulator, some wire and some mediums which are good form of conductor and having heat and electric easily passed out from them. But there are some insulator also by which heat and light and electric will not be passed easily. So that is insulator, in that heat will not pass easily. So this air is known as thermal insulator, in that the heat will not survive easily or maintain itself easily in air or wind or oxygen. So this air is acting like a thermal insulator because heat absorbs by air and makes that heat cool. That is why air acts like a thermal insulator which keeps the temperature of the earth suitable for life to thrive. So as you know, the sun's rays and the heat of suns is sometimes more, sometimes less. But this air is thermal insulator. That is, the heat which is trapped by sun in air always maintain itself and have some kind of easy survival. That is why if there is presence of air, you have been noticed that if there is presence of air, the impact of heat or effect of heat will be lesser. As we have seen that if there is air which is passing out and which is floating there, so it is easy to live there. The sunlight will be decreased that time. So if there is not sufficient air present in the atmosphere, and as you know that air will be present only because of trees and plants and atmosphere which is needed. So if there is less quantity of air, so heat in that atmosphere will be more, the sun's trap will be more. And students, so this air is act like a thermal insulator, and temperature of the earth suitable for life to thrive. It makes the temperature of the earth suitable to live, to survive the lives of human beings and other animals and organisms. And then we see all the weather changes occur due to the atmosphere, and these all weathers, summer, winter, rain and autumn and spring, these all seasons and weather changes are occurred due to atmosphere. It also helps sound waves to travel great distances, and only because of this air in atmosphere, the sound travels for far distances or up to far distances only because of the air presence in the atmosphere. So students, in repetition we see the significance of the atmosphere, and we have discussed that nitrogen is important gas in this atmosphere. As you know, 78% nitrogen is present in this atmosphere, and this nitrogen is being used for chemical fertilizers, and indirectly also plants and trees use this nitrogen, as we have discussed nitrogen cycle or circle in previous classes. And students, we discussed about oxygen as an important gas by which human beings need oxygen to live, and survival of human beings is dependent on oxygen, which is also a significance of the atmosphere. And as we know, carbon dioxide is also used in photosynthesis by plants, and this carbon dioxide gas is also responsible to trap the heat of the sun. And when the effect of sun and the time that sun rays will deducted or go out there, so then the carbon dioxide trapped heat used to warm the earth, used to keep warm the earth. So this is also good thing that in night, in cold night, if there is less carbon dioxide in atmosphere, and if there is so cold night in any regime, so that carbon dioxide trap sun's heat can be made warmer that night, so the survival becomes easy. So carbon dioxide is also helps in keeping warm the earth's surface. And as we see, this water vapors of our atmosphere makes cloud, and when that cloud condenses, it goes to precipitation, and by that rainfall and snowfall occurred there. And we see ozone present in upper layer also responsible to block this ultraviolet rays, and this is very harmful rays for us. If this rays enter in our surface, it can make us ill. By that we can get cancer, we can get types of skin diseases, types of different diseases, bone diseases. So this ultraviolet rays, which is backed by ozone layer, is also part atmosphere part. And then we see students, air acts like a thermal insulator, that is usmiya kuchalakta. If there is air presence, the heat will be decreasing, and that is why students, air is acting like a thermal insulator. And all the weather changes occur due to the atmosphere. It also helps sound waves to travel great distances. So all the weather changes, we see all the weathers, all the changes in weather is also occur due to atmosphere. It also helps sound waves to travel great distance, and sound can travel in air. If there is vacuum, sound can't travel. So students, this air helps these things, and this is known as significance of the atmosphere. Very important topic, students, this is. And in homework you have to write summary of this topic. In next video we will read about greenhouse effect. That is also a very important topic. That is why I am taking another video for this topic. And in this topic you have also seen the significance of atmosphere, and by this you can understand what is the merits and demerits of the gases which are present in this atmosphere. Okay students, if there is any query or question, you can ask on my number, and have to send this homework on WhatsApp group. And students, till then, have a nice day. Thank you.